Welcome to Emilija's Deviations. Today we will be speaking about the High Priestess and how you can invoke your inner knowing. The details of the reading are listed below in the description for you, and the crystals we have for the groups. For group 1 we have Aventurine. For group 2 we have Lapis Lazuli raw. For group 3 we have Pyrite. For group 4 we have Sodalite. For group 5 we have Angelite. And for group 6 we have Tourmaline in Mika, or terminated with Mika. So please take your time in choosing the crystal or the group you are most drawn to, and I will meet you at the reading you have chosen. Welcome group 1 with crystal Aventurine. Let's see what we have for you today. We have On Track in reverse. We have Four of Summer, Tortoise. We have the King of Cups. We have Trust Your Path. We have Word of Course, Missing. And the 2 tarot cards, we have Death, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. Alright. So my group ones, how can you get closer to your intuition? Well, what I'm seeing here is that you need to give yourself time. Your energies can be quite scattered, or you don't feel like you are on the right path. You're not giving yourself direction. You're not giving yourself time to assess and to go within yourself, because your intuition is within yourself. And with this Tortoise card, it says your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting you. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. Yes, so taking time and acknowledging that you have strong intuition. Many people do, okay, and it's innately within you. But the way Tortoise moves is slow and steady. So be patient with your progress. If you want to get your psychic abilities to a higher level, you shouldn't compare yourself to others. You should keep on your own path and realize that certain things are more innate to you than others. You could also look at your astrology chart to see if you have any natural psychic abilities. For example, having certain planets and houses, signs in your 8th house, sometimes the 2nd house as well, and your moon sign if you have any water signs. And I'm just sensing a lot of patience, having patience with yourself, trusting yourself, allowing your emotions to guide you, because your emotions can intertwine with your intuition. So learning to understand your emotions better and what they tell you when you have a clear mind. for instance, when you enter a certain environment, how do you feel? Just reading the little energetic changes around you and learning that way. And anything you practice over time, it will get stronger and stronger. A lot of us are born into this life. Everyone has psychic abilities, for instance, but a lot of us are born with specific psychic abilities we naturally can wield. And at times, certain things, for instance, seeing auras, that is just an example, can take up to a couple years, and some people might, for some people it might take a long time. But if you're persistent and kind to yourself, these abilities open to you much easier. Just know wherever you start, it's always a journey of learning. No matter how much experience you may have, there's always space to learn. Even if you spent this whole lifetime learning a specific subject, we will still, have many lifetimes left to learn more and more and more and more. Knowledge is abundant and there's always something to learn, so don't get frustrated about that or feel as if someone knows more than you do. You have to remember, you have to acknowledge the knowledge you have within you already. And for some of you, I'm just getting a sense that you feel slightly lost. For some of you, you might have taken educational degrees that within time you got put off. It wasn't vibing with you anymore. But even that in itself is a lesson, and whatever you learned at that degree, at that educational course or so forth, is still knowledge. So you shouldn't see it as waste of time. It's just being able to trust in yourself. If you have something within you that is waiting to be birthed, you have to trust your little instincts. And this could be anything from you feeling ecstatic at an opportunity being voiced to you, or you see something online and it really catches your attention. Pay attention to those little things, journal them, write them down, and then look back on them after a certain period of time. They might not make sense to you at that moment. This also with signs. Learn your own sign language per se, because we all are communicated to differently. And don't feel as if you are missing anything within you, like you're missing your intuition or feeling out of place. There is a place for you, but you have to find it within yourself. High Priestess is very reflective. She also looks at both sides. I just feel that there's a cycle that you should put an end to, and that's doubting if you have intuitive abilities or not. Everyone does. Okay? And also for some of you, by you trusting your intuition, there is a lot of abundance coming your way from creative or intuitive career perspectives. It doesn't have to be necessarily a healer's job, but it could be a job where you use your intuition a lot, even with, for example, customer service, where you have to feel out people quite a lot. Okay, I think that's all for you, my group ones. Just trust your emotions, learn about your emotions and your signs, and trust yourself. Even if you feel like you're not walking in the right direction, you are. You just have to decide where you want to go and what your true innate skills are. You have to discover them, okay? Hello, my group twos, with the raw Lapis Lazuli. So let's find out how you can evoke more of your intuition, your higher priestess. And the first card we have is Three of Forces, the Bird's Nest, Ten of Winter, Siberian Husky Dog. Then we have Ten of Cups, we have Answer the Call, the Provoker, and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and the World in reverse. Yes, the World in reverse. So what I'm instantly picking up is that you have a hard time in starting fresh. You have a hard time in letting go and allowing things to unfold for what they are. You're very fixated on what you build and how you have assisted people. And that might... So, in other words, you are an extremely giving person, but you haven't turned internally to nourish yourself fully. You are very giving emotionally, and you love to see people grow. You sense others' emotions, so you already are quite intuitive. But what is lacking mostly is that you using your intuition for yourself. So nurturing your own emotional and intuitive sensitivity. Some of you might or have just left a certain career path, and it is making you feel extremely happy, but you feel as if you are lost at this time. So what Spirit is suggesting is you listing and noting the amount of things or asking for support to direct you on the path that is most aligned for you. Something that would provoke you to initiate massive change. So this could be a lifestyle change. This could be a career, which is a whole 180 degrees different compared to anything you have done before, but you're very drawn to it. For some of you, you're going into care-based careers. It could be also holistic healing, animal therapy, something that would shock people in your immediate circle that they wouldn't expect. One thing that is putting you off, you feel like you would be putting in too much, not too much effort, because we have to put in a lot of effort in everything. You know, we have to start fresh. But with anything, be intuition, being in the knowing, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the hours of practice, hours of study. Even if you're naturally good at it and naturally talented, there's still always room for improvement. Okay, and some of you are avoiding that. You look at the workload that might be needed, the knowledge base that might be needed for that specific thing, and you get put off with it because it's too far away. You see it too far away, and in that way you block yourself off. You don't give yourself a chance because you're not allowing the natural course to go its way. Okay, so the advice for you to initiate your inner knowing in your High Priestess is to nurture your dreams. Study, follow what lights you up, what really makes you feel good emotionally. See how you can support others, or how what problem may your service, for example, would solve. This is just an example. It could be why you're doing this for that specific thing. You just need to ask yourself questions and just really see the little niggles and the directions you take, and take note when you take a specific when you do a specific action, how it makes you feel. And if it challenges other people, push past that, because it really helps you. But do not, I repeat, do not shy away from the work that you have to put in order to achieve that thing in initiating, because everything takes work. Okay guys, so this is all I have for you, my group 2s, my Lapis Lazulis. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a share, a like and a comment. I would really appreciate that, and I hope you have a beautiful time wherever you are and whatever you are doing. Hello my group 3s for Pyrite. Let's find out what do we have for you to strengthen your intuition and invoke your inner Empress. So we have the Queen of Scrolls, the Ace of Winter, the Four of Wands, Unbound, the 5th house, and the 7 of Pentacles, and the Empress. Alright, let's see. So for some of you, I'm sensing that you have quite, not a lot, but quite present female spirit guides. And for many of you, it's a great time for learning new things, initiating new things. And I'm hearing skills. And with that as well, the ones that are initiating new skills, some of you have many new projects coming in, and in general a new chapter in one of your life categories per se. For many of you it's just personal life and career life. And one way to strengthen your intuition is to feel comfortable, to have a foundation for yourselves, not necessarily financially, but more so with people, family in your life. And family, just to emphasize that, doesn't have to be your immediate family. You can have family that you have made throughout, your life. Not blood family. That's what I'm trying to say. So your intuition really grows with more knowledge you accumulate, with trusting yourself and being okay with making mistakes and not cringing about them, not really beating yourself up about it. having a hobby or something to do for yourself is really important for you because it replenishes your inner world and also nurturing yourself, putting the hard work, but more so being okay from where you are at your standpoint. And what I relate for them, I'm sensing a lot of starting a new project, a new hobby, learning about new knowledge in general. So for you guys, you have to be proactive in that, in the sense that you need to learn through doing. That's extremely effective for you, and that strengthens your intuition. Because some people can take up knowledge, written knowledge, and lap it up without no problem, and then sort of turn it around in their mind. But for you guys, you are doers. And it's okay. I keep hearing it's okay to fail. Everyone fails. Not everyone talks about it. Your first thing, item, idea, practice of a specific thing that you want to do is not going to be great. But it doesn't mean you have to hide it. You just need supporting environment, and you can seek that out because you'll feel it. Your intuition will tell you. And I'm drawn to speak more about your intuition. So intuition can work in so many different ways, but the simplest way to describe it is how you feel in that moment. Okay, so what I mean by that is how your body reacts. How quickly does your emotion switch when you enter a room? Or when you think about a certain thing, how does your energy shift? Okay, and then not talking about clairs, but talking about you just know in a sense, and it's an easy sense. It's not something that is overbearing in thought. For example, if your thought is constant and it's overbearing, then that's not your intuition. If you're quite sensitive to signs, seeing repeating signs, for instance, that's an external sign. Although we are all connected, just hearing creativity, it activates your energy to be more receptive to the world around you and to be calmer. See, we've got the panda here, which are always related to yin and yang, and then we got the two. So keeping balance between the known and the unknown, so the underworld and the overworld, and figuring out what ideas you had about intuition or psychic abilities and so forth. And let me just clarify, everyone's born with intuitive and psychic abilities. The way I would explain it is, if you imagine the spectrum, right? You got all the colors, and I don't exactly remember what the spectrum is called. So this is the spectrum of lights, of colors we see. And the spectrum is endless. Okay? And the ones that are born with profound, sensitive, psychic abilities only stretch out to this tiny little bit. And then the spectrum is endless. So that means that anyone can reach a certain mastery in their clairs, for instance. But not everyone's there is people who are excellent in their intuition and their clairs, but they're non-believers in spirituality or anything like that. They just intuitively do it, and they don't see it as something supernatural. And others really try, and they're drawn to spirituality, but their clairs of specific things. For instance, they might not see spirits or ghosts and so forth, but they still sense and they're devoted to their path. That is just one example. But yeah, I keep going back to just feel comfortable and find people who can relate to that. The thing that you want to, for instance, writing about your experiences, where you feel comforted, and you can create that even within your own circle. You just have to have trust. Explore yourself. I'm also being drawn to the two masks. You know, it's all about duality, so you have to remember that yes, there is the perfect you, and then there's the mean you. You know, we all have the light aspects of us and the latter, the shadow self. So we have to explore both and see how they both dance together. And by accepting that, you become more creative as well. But be nurturing of yourself and be proud of yourself. Because self-doubt doesn't bring you any closer to trusting your intuition more. Okay guys, that's all I have for you, my group 3s. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please like, subscribe and share. I'm only starting out. I would really appreciate it, and I wish you luck on your journey, and I wish you all the best. Welcome group 4s with Sodalite. Let's look at your cards. So we have 6 of Swords, the Sand of Time. We have King of Autumn, Gypsy Velino Horse. We have the Sun. Upside down. The Warrior Woman, the Fire Element, and the Hierophant, and 10 of Pentacles. Right. So for you guys specifically, following your joy is a great way to train your intuition. Following your passions and following your dreams is what really lights you up. And that's where your intuition really, really opens up. Almost racing towards your joys. And for many of you, that's where it brings you to the happiest point, or the happiest points in your life. It's where you stop fighting yourself, because we have the Warrior Woman in reverse. There has come a time where you just stopped fighting. And it's not for the bad reasons. For instance, you still stand for what is, but for many of you, realizing that certain things aren't worth fighting for brings you a better understanding of everything in your life, and it brings you peace. Brings you time of reflection. Understanding that being patient, that things, that manifestations take time. And the bigger the wish you have, the bigger the goal you have, And the further the manifestation is, the more time it will take. So for many of you might have wished a lot. You wanted, you know, many things, or many inner things, feelings even. And you sort of have it lined back, like, you know, where is it? And you are questioning your intuition, and some of you are questioning your belief system because you're not seeing the physical aspects of the things you've been working on internally as well, very much internally. But what I see here is that the things you wanted might not come in ways that you expected it to in your mind, and it never does. I can tell you that 100%. But what is ripening and what is being assessed within you, so the more you, not necessarily the more, because certain things, you know, you take and then let go. You can't force certain things because then it just gets too complicated. But the things you wished a long time ago, and you intuitively felt for them to be the right thing, they are coming and they're ripening. And I'm being drawn to the harvest here. The message itself says everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible, and money or resource that come your way will be invested wisely. So I'm also sensing that you already wield your intuition quite well, but you just doubt yourself time to time. But as long as you chase your happiness and go after the things that really truly make you happy, because we have the happiest card, you know, of the Arcana here with the Sunstone. So for some of you, all you need is just perhaps encouraging crystals for abundance, for instance. So we've got Aventurine for that. We also got Pyrite, and obviously Sunstone here. For creativity, you could go get yourself a carnelian. But yeah, as long as you follow your path to the happiest moments day by day, you know, not fight things that you know you'll never win. Set yourself rituals and guidance, and see yourself in your ideal position, but at the same time actually appreciating your current moment. Your intuition naturally flows for you, regardless. I'm being drawn to the Hierophant, so, you know, it is about your belief system. And I feel like it's pointing back at the warrior woman. So what are the things that are worth fighting for? What are the things that will get you closer in the most, I'm hearing feminine, but more so nurturing way for yourself? So in a way that you won't get pulled in too many directions. And what hobbies, passions, skills can you turn, you know, into mastery? How can you set up rituals? Because that, as I keep mentioning, you know, your creativity, your following your joys is what really opens up your intuition naturally. So setting yourself rituals, boundaries, researching, diligently, I can't say that word. Being diligent, that's it, will easily walk you to where you need to be. And then don't be surprised if things have been hidden from you. Soon they'll be opening up and you'll be seeing things much clearer. Just be creative, my group fours. I think that's all for you, my group fours. Look in your, actually the final message is look in your first house and look at where your fire placements are placed, okay? And also your fifth house to see what creative endeavors you could pick up just to experiment with. And we've got 2 10s here. So see what you can let go of and what you have already achieved that you're already good at, and milk that emotionally. That will invite more space and more energy, more positive energy into your life by assisting you. Okay, my darlings, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please like, subscribe, share. We really appreciate that. And I wish you good luck on your journey. Thank you. Bye. Welcome, group 5s, with our crystal Angelite. Let's get started to see how you can strengthen your intuition or evoke your higher priestess. Right, so let's see. We have Archangel Michael. We have life experience 16. We have 9 of Wands. I am strong for as long as I need to be strong. Starseed, what lights you up? We have Leo, our will. And the 2 tarot cards, we have the Sun. And we have the 2 of Wands. Okay. So, for you guys. Many of you work with your angels or you are heavily surrounded by angels. Michael is a very active angel. He is very strong amongst the angel realm. He aids with communication, and you can call Archangel Michael anytime, anywhere. He protects, is a very strong protector. And we also got Angelite, which connects heavily with angel realm. So for you guys, your intuition is strengthened with the aid of your angels. So if you believe in angels, or if you don't, you are heavily surrounded by them, and they are always around you. They always are guiding you, whispering to you, giving you signs such as feathers, numbers. If some of you have a problem sleeping at night, you can evoke Archangel Michael. He is the protector, and also he's excellent at cutting cords. And I feel like Archangel Michael comes to you right now because you have a lot of strain in your life, or you're about to embark on a new transformative journey in your life, because I'm being drawn to the butterfly here. Also something regarding a great experience in your life that will require you a lot of work. So how does it relate to your intuition? Well, it takes work, and you putting in time and working with your intuition and getting to know yourself and affirming to yourself that, you know, you have the ability to be strongly intuitive is really important for you. And you are really hardworking, so for some of you, sometimes you might get a lot of intuitive ideas. So much so, you might feel overwhelmed and you don't carry them out because it just becomes too overburdening, in the sense that your energy gets scattered. So another thing I noticed is you got the Sun card and you got Leo, which is also ruled by Sun. Leo is also in the 5th house. So remembering to relax, spend time with yourself, finding activities that you can get carried away in within your imagination, discovering new topics that might light you up, such as mysticism, occult, for some of you astronomy, things that are out of our reach for many of us. Studying astrology is a good way to initiate your intuition and the study of the unknown as well. Standing firm in what you already have experienced and realizing there's a vast Akashic records out there, and Akashic records are basically everything that has been, everything that will be. It's the history of the beginning and the end eventually of your own life book, just as to say. But being studious and sticking it out really will get your intuition concrete within yourself. You'll stand sturdy and unshakable in your own understanding of self. Two of Wands, it's urging you to explore different mediums of whatever topic that you... I'm also hearing chakras, so your solar plexus, because we've got quite a lot of orangey yellows here. What are you confident about? How can you strengthen your confidence in your intuition? These kind of questions, and affirming to yourself that you can. Leos are extremely proud, confident, willful. It reminds me of a strength card a little bit, with a combination of the Leo and the 9 of Wands. Some of you are very intuitive, but you might pick up a lot of energy. And with being psychic, for instance, you need to learn to protect yourself, to do shielding, so your energy doesn't get run down and you don't feel as heavy, as you shouldn't, because you're carrying others' energy. So learning how to shed it, learning how to cleanse yourself energetically, also physically, because over time it can run you down. So understanding the balance. I'm also hearing for some of you, you might be watching too many pick of cards. And what happens when you watch too many pick of cards? It actually just distributes your energy in too many different directions, and it doesn't give you the direct and focused answer that you need, and it just gets the energy flowing in so many different ways. So reducing the amount of pick of cards you read, you watch even. Practicing your own oracle and tarot. Giving yourself permission as well. It's really important for you. Anything else? Yes, transformation takes time, and it's the same with growing your intuition, understanding yourself better, because the better you understand your intuition, the more, the deeper you have to go within yourself. And just remember that when the butterfly hatches, there's a whole process to them. Nobody talks about the cocoon stage and when they have to break out, the growing pains. So the mistakes you might make along the way, or so you think there are mistakes, the experiences you have, you have to take time to digest them. I always say, when people ask, where should I start with spirituality, what should I do, with my intuition, and I instantly say, never let anyone force you in any practice. That's one. Two, never push yourself to understand too much, in the sense that, you spend all your energy just learning everything that you can. Once again, it's too many lines, going different directions. So take your time. Don't feel like don't look at other people's practices and then, try and outrace them. It just doesn't work like that. You have to go in your own flow and what you're most drawn to and what inspires you and gives you vitality. Because our solar plexus is initially the anchor of our soul. It's like our little fire pit that we get our life force, our major life force, our drive from. So looking at healing activities and finding peace within yourself. Initially just following what really lights you up and experimenting with it. Hearing hard work pays off. But just remember to look different directions time to time to see what new and exciting you can look at, you can learn, you can do. Share your experiences as well. Is there anything else, Spirit, that you would like to share with us? Following your joy, your bliss, being grateful for everyday's little, joyful things, sharing with others, feeling inspired and following that bliss. The sun is the best card in the Arcana. And what I really get from that is you do have a strong vitality and you do have a really strong inner compass. You just need to trust, because the sun is also shining light on everything, whilst the High Priestess is a card of mystery and is the moon, so the darker side, so everything's more mystical. Whilst the sun, it doesn't hide anything. That's why the High Priestess is the moon and is ruled by the moon. Okay, so I think that's all for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Keep communicating with your angels, and I hope you have a great journey. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I have, and please like, subscribe, share, and I wish you all well. Bye. Hello my group 6s for Tourmaline and Emilija. Let's see what we have for you for initiating your High Priestess energy. So we have the Scribe in reverse. We have the Chariot in reverse. Then we have the Page of Wands. We have the Soul Family in reverse. And we have Grand Trine Blessings in reverse as well. And then we have the Hangman and the Stars. Okay. So this is an interesting one. Okay, what would strengthen your intuition is not fearing to do your own research and to cultivate your own ideas. Some of you actually had a couple of experiences, be it psychically, be it spiritually, which you didn't, how to say, enjoy, and that sort of, or maybe even stories from others, which really put you off of looking into intuition and mysticism for some of you, and you basically kind of refuse to look that way and kind of refuse to charge that way. So perhaps very much for you guys, you just need to look at what you're comfortable with and where, you know, what would make you really comfortable to go into, you know, perhaps meditation, and sort of working out what's really good for you. What are your boundaries, for instance? What are your spiritual boundaries? What might be your stance on things like that? And then sort of look into how you can work with it. What would be comfortable to you, you know, how, basically your boundaries. And for some of you, it's dampening your intuition, so you might be quite closed off in the sense that you always feel like something bad about to happen or something like that, and Spirit's urging you to shift that mentality, because the more you think of something, the more your subconscious starts pushing you to notice in your environment. So that's what our brain already does naturally. We don't need to do much about that. So sort of training yourself to think more positive. So for I'll give you an example. One thing that I do, for instance, every time I go out and I see something or someone that is extremely beautiful in my eyes, or I really like about someone, I just say in my head, oh, that person has a beautiful this and that. Oh, that dog is beautiful. Oh, look at that window with the frames and so forth. And what it helps me do is initially train my brain to look for good things, right? And obviously it's not that I don't notice bad things in life. It's just that I'm looking for more positive energy by consciously putting it out. Okay, and some of you feel like you don't have enough people to talk to relate to, the ones that would get you to the deep, where you can open up, 100% to. And the time will come when you will have that, but you have to be conscious on what you want to invite in your life and what you need to let go of. So this is what High Priestess speaks about. She reflects deeply into her inner soul, because High Priestess represents the subconscious, and the subconscious is initially all our belief systems, everything that is programmed from a young age that we don't even think about. Okay, so shaking up some of those thoughts and working on them, and opening yourself up to new perspectives, or perspectives that you're more comfortable with, perhaps fears of certain unknowns, would really assist you in inviting more people that you could speak to, heartfully and truthfully. Because initially what you're doing is blocking yourself up from blessings, and you're sort of just waiting for things to happen, which is not necessarily a big problem whilst you're trying to, work on yourself, heal yourself, and understand your intuition more. But if you want to open yourself up more, to have more vibrance and feeling vibrance in your life, you just need to be more excited and more childish with life. Not in serious situations or with serious responsibilities, just lighten up in certain situations a little bit more. So we have the stars here as well, which I feel is very much related to healing. And for some of you, healing relationships, but for very few of you is healing your family issues. So some of you might be quite sensitive, and that was suppressed when you were younger. So it's important for you to sort of look at what things were said to you, which I think relates to the certain blocks here. What you just, followed, because we all do, we just follow what we are told at a young age, but we never questioned it. So questioning that will allow certain beliefs to surface to the top, which you can work on. And when things surface to the top, there will be resistance, in the sense that it will become more prominent, but don't, be discouraged and scared. It's just a process. Usually what happens, it becomes really apparent, but then you work with it and it fades away. It's just the last test of your brain to be like, are you sure you want to let go of the specific belief, because you've been holding it for so long? So it's not that life will test you, but it's also your gatekeeper, your brain itself, to protect yourself, because that's what our subconscious, our conscious is, gating to the subconscious mind. Is there anything else, Spirit, that you would like to pass on? You're free, to charge ahead. You're free to make any choices, as long as you try, you go through it, because that's one way to test your intuition as well. You test your intuition by doing, and then researching, and then doing again. So it's sort of clocking tracking the events, tracking the progress. And for very few of you, a good way to sort of practice intuition to see how it is within your body is through flower meditation. And that's a good way for you. Don't fear transformation as well. Don't fear challenges, and don't fear new opportunities, because you only live once, okay? As long as it's not doing any harm to anyone else and it makes you feel good, okay? Okay guys, that's it for you, my group 6s. I'm wishing you all the best in your journey, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you have, please share, like, subscribe. I'll really appreciate it. And for now, I wish you a great day. Thank you. Bye.